It's that time of the month again, folks. Time to figure out what Fire Emblem Heroes has in store for us, one day at a time. Enjoy the video.
Let the lesson begin.
Hey guys, Akariss here, bringing you another Fire Emblem Heroes video. Today's video is going to cover the calendar for May and into June, and we're going to take a look at this in sections, and I'll give you my thoughts as to what we could expect for the coming month through the banners, through the events, and possibly what's coming in early June, because there is some precedent for some interesting stuff. So with that said, let's start with banners. In the banner section, we actually have a couple of skill banners as usual, and with those skill banners, we also have revivals and the Mythic banner at the end, and Legendary Remix confirmed here, which is now bi-monthly, and I assume all upgrades, so all legendaries are bi-monthly. So with that said, the skills banners, we have some solid candidates over on the left. I personally don't think they will do the 3 or 4 star options, but it's a good idea to just list them anyways. With the joint drive, I believe we have a data mine from the data miners on Reddit and other places, so thank you to them. So Chris, Lilith, and Sarah are being the data mine units for the joint drives. With odd wave skills, we have Levitain, Violet, Berkut, Ishtar, Duel, Ephraim potentially if they want to put a duel there, Luin, Yarn, and as I said, I don't think Mercedes or even Loki. What I feel is like they tend to put the better selling units onto these banners, or the more popular ones, so that people will feel incentivized to pull for them. And also, generally speaking, if it is a 3-person banner, you likely have better odds than when they were maybe a debut on a 4-person banner. So it's not an awful idea to target like a skill or something on these banners or a unit. Just be mindful that without a spark, there is no guarantee, and you could definitely end up in the 99th percentile, meaning you are literally the one person out of like 100 people who just spends like 300 orbs on one of these banners and doesn't get what you want, which is why I always advocate for sparking instead. But it's good to know what's coming, and maybe you plan your orb spend yours over that. So next up is the remix, which we know has Ryoma and Gunthra for sure, and I believe Grima as well, but who cares about that for now? We don't know what she's going to get. We don't know if she's going to get a dual skill. We don't know how she's going to get upgraded. She could very well end up the way of Ryoma, but she could also end up the way of Fjorm. And yeah, I mean, Ice Mirror 2 isn't much to celebrate about, but definitely Bushido 2 and Reijintu's Refine are definitely plenty to celebrate about. And again, I covered this in the Refines video, so go check that out if you really want more in depth on Ryoma, because he is pretty good. And if you're basically starting out, or maybe you have him at mid-merge, or you're looking forward to potentially giving him our dual flying 4 because you already have a +10 or +9 Ryoma or something like that, the remix might be of interest to guarantee yourself a copy of Ryoma through the Spark system that remixes do have, which is always a good thing. Next up is a BHB featuring Leila and Matthew. So with the BHBs, we know that they add the units themselves, the named units, so Leila should be coming on a banner for that. As I said, if the banner is like a 3-person banner, then this is really good, as it's a good opportunity to potentially pick up a one-off of Leila. Leila is a very strong unit, a very unique mechanic. She is a little bit weak to save skills, but has some great potential with many tanks who may not have sniping abilities like melee tanks and whatnot, getting into good positions. Very good one-off unit. Honestly, not mentioned in my one-off video, but there's so many of these type of units that it's worth a mention maybe here, and maybe consideration of orbs. I'm not going to say that you should, but again, everyone's goal is different, so make sure you know your own. Brave Edelgard and the Braves are also coming back, as voted in by the Twitter event this month, and that is a good opportunity to potentially finish off any Braves that you might have gone, let's say, through the Hero Fest that just passed. Again, the Spark system coming back for that revival, which is a good opportunity to just finish off whatever copies of your favorite Braves or meta Braves, in the case of something like Brave Edelgard there, and get them functional. Remember, Brave units get refines, so we can always expect that they may come back in relevancy even years down the road, and therefore their viability and investment is always going to stay true. I don't even think any of the Braves have fallen off in any real manner, except Brave Roy, who basically got screwed by Elwood taking his weapon. But in reality, Brave Roy isn't really bad. It's just that Elwood is a resplendent and more available. But I don't think they'll do that again for any of the future Braves that get refines. All of them have gotten something useful in some way or another. So look forward to that revival. We get some of the bridal banners coming back this month, including likely the special heroes this month being another bridal banner, so I could see them. But the most notable hero that I could see you guys considering to pick up would be Rafiel as a one-off. I use one myself, and it is extremely impactful. Think of him like a mini Valoria, but one charge on himself, on the ally he supports with, and dancing capabilities. Valoria cannot dance. She does 2 charge on herself and the ally supported with, so there's give and take there, but Rafiel has been very good for me in my usage of him, and I think he's crucial for a lot of Gale Force strategies if you wanted another good solid option. It's 4-star focus, it won't really cost you that much. Solid thing to think about. Additionally is probably one of the oldest bridals and alts of Lyn, but she holds that Candlelight, and the only other way to get this is flash off Makoto, so we don't know if Makoto will come back. You can't really depend on a pity break or anything like that. So if you really wanted one of the best healer weapons for AR defense, that is an opportunity to pick that up. So I wanted to leave it a mention here. Also sharing with Bridal Cordelia, but that's not that relevant, except that she has rally attack speed, which could link into rally attack speed plus for potential good fodder chains. And finally, the Mythic Heroes banner this month. Now, I'm going to only make one guess this time. I'm not even going to list many. I did actually assume from the previous month that Sigurd could happen, and he did, but this time I'm literally only making one prediction, and that will be Ashera. Now, I think it's a bit overdue that we don't just get the Mythics from the Heroes game, and we actually branch out just a little bit. And I'm going to say that the one that's way overdue is Ashera. This is the right contrast to Yoon, and I just see it coming. Now, I don't know whether it should be Dark or Light or Astra or Anima. I can't say. I think it might be Astra, actually. And the reason I say that, if I was to take a guess, is because according to her affinity in the game itself, I believe Heaven is correlated to Astra. That's my assumption here. But if we see it, I assume it'll be here for her. Astra season, probably Ashera. I'm hoping this is the case. I actually really want this, but if I was to make one guess, it would be Ashera. Of course, they could just go the boring route and just add another Heroes, Mythic, OC of whatever, Kanto, Loving, and or Giants, whatever. But honestly, I hope this happens. And here's why I think it's Ashera, because in the June on the New Heroes banner, I highly suspect that we'll get a repeat of the midpoint banner from last year. And if you guys remember this, the midpoint banner from last year was Mirabilis in June, featured with a couple of other new heroes together and being able to be sparked. So if I was to make a guess, I feel like our dark new mythic will end up being Nott, a contrast to Dagger, on that new heroes midpoint banner as a spark option. So this is why I'm hoping that Ashera breaks like the whole new OC heroes mold and brings in Nott instead on the midpoint of the new heroes in the early June banner. That is my hope. Now, this is just this is a prediction, this is a guess, I could be totally wrong, but there are definitely some signs that this could happen, and let's hope. As for Ashera, she could probably end up being colorless, just again, small little thought. As for that basically covers my banners and some things to think about for the upcoming month. We get all of the other standard stuff, so Golden Gauntlet, Hall of Forms is going on right now, about to happen with like the FE5 units, I believe, like Marita, Ocean, Tanya, and Sias. That's, for me, that's kind of disappointing. There's nothing really there for me. You can't even pick up ARD or dual skills from formulas, so it's not that appealing. We get, I believe, the month of Roker Sieges, not Frontline Phalanx, not Grand Conquest. So that's cool. And our revival will be Aramia, which is whatever. She's basically the staff healer that caused grails that no one except literally the most devoted of fans would spend for. And yeah, that's pretty much going to cover this month, folks. I don't believe I missed anything of relevance. But yeah, Midpoint and Mythic should be the most interesting for me to look forward to. The remix is a good opportunity to start working on maybe a merge project on one of those legendaries using the Spark system. The Brave Revival should be really good for a few of you who are still working or trying to finish off your CYL for Braves. Don't forget that in a few months, the CYL 5 units will come featuring Gatekeeper, Marianne, Erica, and Marth. So awesome. All right, guys, that covers my expectations and review for this coming month. It's a fairly standard month, nothing crazy, but it should be fun. Thank you all. Love you all. Please let me know what you think of the in the comments below of the coming month and the calendar. Give the video a thumbs up. Turn that thing blue. If you want to support the channel, consider the Patreon below. I keep this content running because of you guys. There's also a join button as well. You can consider pressing that and supporting the stream, the videos, content, all that. Love you all. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
It's over.